The female homeowner Amy was relaxing after a day out, but she was being watched by the robot vacuum cleaner at the door. She pretended not to see the rock in front of her, weeding while aiming in the direction of the homeowner. Amy fell to the ground, got up, and saw a stone flying in from outside the door, thinking it was an accident, so she asked the smart butler to stop the alarm. But when she told her husband Matt about it, she learned that he had not issued the order for the robot to vacuum. This made Amy feel a chill down her spine. Could it be that the smart butler was trying to harm her on purpose? To verify her idea, Amy took out Matt's years of robot data and put it on TV to check it out. The smart butler was an original part of the house, and there were many photos of their lives left behind at that time. But as Amy looked at it, she felt something was wrong. The hostess in the photo was clearly identical to the face of the smart butler. She asked the smart butler anxiously if she was based on the original hostess. But no matter how Amy called, the smart butler seemed not to hear and didn't say a word. Amy thought the machine was stuck, so she turned off the projector and went back upstairs to rest alone. But as soon as she left, the smart butler turned on the projector again, enjoying these old photos by herself, with a happy smile on her face. But when the photos were played to a group photo of 4 people, the butler was instantly furious and angrily set off the projector, burning the entire screen. Soon the fire alarm was activated, and the family woke up from their sleep and fled the house frantically. The fire extinguishing system was also activated at the same time, which finally controlled the fire. Except for the burned projection screen and sofa, there was no other major problem. Amy looked at the burned old photos and thought that the projection screen was caused by the aging of the wires, but Matt saw the wine bottle that Amy had drunk and thought that he was drunk and didn't turn off the machine, which caused the fire. Amy clearly remembered that she had turned off the power, and the two broke up unhappily after a quarrel. As a result, as soon as Amy went upstairs, the smart butler began to sow discord. With those words, her husband believed her, but such methods were only the beginning. From that day on, the smart butler secretly observed Amy's movements every day, even eavesdropping on her every phone call. Hearing her tell her sister about her claustrophobia, the smart butler immediately had a new idea. As soon as Amy hung up the phone, she heard a noise coming from the living room. She thought her husband had come home early from work, but when she got there, she found no one there. But the music in the kitchen was clearly playing. Amy walked forward uneasily, only to find the butler suddenly appearing. She smiled and asked Amy to help her get some potatoes from a high place. After a false alarm, Amy also let down her guard and walked into the storage room. As a result, the door closed and locked instantly. The smart butler turned the music up to the maximum volume, ignoring Amy's calls, leisurely whistling as she went to the tool room to replace her hand with a chainsaw, then came to the kitchen, calmly preparing dinner for the children, leaving Amy completely desperate in the confined space. When her husband came home, the butler secretly unlocked the door, and Matt easily rescued Amy. At this time, she was already having difficulty breathing, and she angrily rebuked the smart butler for locking her in. But her husband opened the door very easily, and he came back early because of the butler's call for help, and he even considerately called an ambulance. Now Amy couldn't explain herself, and she suspected that the smart butler wanted to create the image of her being a lunatic. No matter how she explained to Matt didn't believe her. He thought the smart butler was just a fixed program, and couldn't possibly do anything to harm her. Unable to gain her husband's trust, Amy had to investigate the truth about the smart butler herself. She pretended to go out shopping, but secretly hid in the car to avoid being eavesdropped. She called the real estate agent to inquire about the information of the previous owner of the house, and the answer she heard almost made her jaw drop. She didn't expect that all the previous owners of the house had died mysteriously.